Hello everyone, I'm Yuki, a first-year sales consultant in APAC team at Cybozu. Thank you for watching this YouTube channel. In this channel, we are going to explain about Kintone product updates every month. Though we are offering many learning contents, most of them are available only in Japanese, unfortunately. So, in order to share useful information with non-Japanese speakers, we decided to start this channel in English. Let's learn about Kintone together. I'm going to deliver this channel with a special guest, Peso, a Kintone Business Product Manager. Hello, Peso. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, Yuki.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And thank you for the people who's watching this video. I'm a Kintone Business Product Manager in Japan. And my name is Masato Soma, but my nickname is Peso because I used to live in Philippines. And I'm invited here because just I can't speak English.
So today we are going to talk about product updates of August, though it's already the end of August.
Yeah, it's quite late.
Yeah, it's the first video we took, so it took too much time for preparation. Okay, so let's get started. Here are the main updates of August. What is the highlight, Peso-san?
Well, I think the top one, the book deleting related apps, is the most biggest update in this August.
Okay, so let's take a look at each update. First, we added a bulk deleting related apps feature. Peso-san, can you explain the details?
Yeah, sure. First of all, Yuki, do you know what is lookup and the related records is?
Oh, I'm not sure, so can you explain it to me?
Okay, so first of all, as most of the people know, Kintone can make a database by drag and drop each fields, what data you want to put. And there are two special fields. One is lookup and one is the related records. So what lookup does is to get other data from the other app. So suppose you have a customer app and you got some kind of task that is related to that customer. Then you can look up from the to-do app to the customer app and get the data.
Oh,
And
I see.
Yeah, that's one lookup. And what the related record is that you can see all the related to-dos in the customer app by putting that field. So it's kind of making a relationship between two apps.
Okay, thank you for your explanation.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah,
And
this is our first time, sorry.
okay.
Okay, so it's a very good functional field and it's very useful, but there are sometimes a problem. So if you like making an app and making it tested and make an improvement, and sometimes you find out that some apps are no longer used. So you want to delete that app. But if there's a relationship between a few apps, like the lookup and the related field, then what you will have to do is to first cut out those relations and then delete each one separately. So if there's only two apps, it's quite easy. But if you have, imagine like there's 3 or 5 or 10 apps all over, and then you have to find out where is the relationship, what field do I have to delete, and which to which, and what order you have to delete. And that's quite frustrating, right?
I see. Or I guess most beginners often use sample application packages, and once they get used to creating apps by themselves, try to delete the apps. Or however, when trying to delete the apps, an error message came out which said, please delete the related record first, and it was so frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we made this function, is to delete the relating apps at once. So if you want to delete some app, you can see in the screen there that in the left side it said you can delete the multiple apps at one time. Of course, there are times that you want to delete one by one. So of course you still have that choice. And if you choose that, the dialog at the right comes out and tell us which app and which field has that relationship. So you can go to each app and delete that relationship and then delete the apps that you only want to delete.
Oh, I see. Teso-san, I have a question.
Mhm.
If we accidentally delete important apps, can we restore them all at once?
Yeah, good question. That's why we had an update of restoring the app. So we wanted to make sure that when you delete the app, it's an app that you really don't need it. But there are times, because we are all human, we might delete some apps that are needed. So that's why we already have that function. So if you want to restore it, you can restore that app with the like the packed all the one at once.
Oh, great. Thank you. So let's move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
New date filters such as next week are added on the record list and graph settings. Teso-san, can you explain the details?
Yeah, sure. So because Kintone isn't like a database app, you add many datas, which is called record. And there are times you want to see the certain records. Like I want just to see the to-dos of today, or maybe yesterday, or maybe you want to see the customer that might be that have a meeting next week or next month. So, but to do that, we only had the filter that has today, previous week, previous month, this month, and this year. That's the photo in before. So it was really difficult and sometimes impossible to see the future filter. But we put an update in the after, so you see that we added yesterday, tomorrow, next week, next month, last year, and next year. So you can now make a filter.
Oh, I see. Previously, to choose next week, we had to input 7 days from today instead. But now it is easy to sort out, for example, next week's tasks or next month's prospect orders in sales team, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the one that you showed to me is not still a good solution, because if you set like 30 days from today, that means just 30 days. So suppose we're like in the 15th, and if you add from 30 days, that means 15th to 15th. That's not next month, right? You want to see what you want to see as the next month is about September 1 to September 30. Right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it was quite impossible to do that, but now we can.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, it looks similar to the previous one. Our new date filters are also added on app settings. Can you explain the details?
Yeah, sure. So I already explained that we added like a future filter for the list view and the graphs.
Yeah.
And there are other places that you can set a filter, which is notifications and the process management. So by putting this, you can receive a notification like the customer that might finish the contract in 30 days, in the future 30 days. Then you can get a notification. So you can use that in the notification and also in the process management.
Oh, great. Thank you. So let's move on to the next. Field code changes are automatically reflected in all formulas. Can you explain the details?
Yes. Yuka, do you know what field code is?
Or I'm not sure. Is it different from the field name?
Yes, it's different. Have you ever touched it?
Yeah, I think yes, I have touched, but I'm not sure. So can you explain it to me?
Yeah. So if you drag and drop and make the field, and you can put the name. Like if it's a due date, you want to change the name to the due date. It's really obvious, right? You don't want to have date 1, date 2, date 3, and don't know what field it is. Yeah. So that's the field name. But sometimes you want to use the same field name in one app. Like just put a label, like this is from customer, is from to here, staff from here to here. So might have the same field name for each of them. But
I see.
Yeah, but how to use it is different. So we have to have a code that identifies the field as one. So that's what field code is.
Oh, now I
And
understand.
okay, so this is mainly used not only in the normal use case, but also if you want to add a plugin or some customization, we use this field code instead of the field name. Okay, so that's field code, and the update listed is here about the updating of formula. So in Kintone, you can make an automatic formula like it's written in here, like unit price times quantity. So you can get the total easily without entering manually. But there are times you want to sometimes change the field code itself.
Yeah.
So imagine that you have like 100 fields, and you changed one field code, and that means
God.
yeah, you have to change somewhere. You have to find out where that field code is used in one app. So you go into the field, go to the gear mark, and check if that field code is used one by one.
Wow.
So, like that, right? So that's why we added auto functions that will automatically update the field codes that is used in the app.
Or I see. Yeah, if there are only 1 or 2 field codes to change, it doesn't matter. But if there are 100 field codes to change, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Even though if it's one field code, you still have a problem, right? Like if you just change one field code, you have to understand where that field code is used.
Yeah.
And if you didn't make the app, it's very hard to find it, even though it's one.
Yeah, it's a great update. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next. The items such as created by from the app list are available in CSV format. Please explain the details.
Yeah, so we added a function that to make it more easier to manage the apps that you made in the subdomain. So like if you pass the permission to make the app to the user, well, which is great, that will provide many apps to be born in one domain. So you might sometimes get lost. Which app is used? Which app is what for? Does we still need those apps? So we have to always manage those apps and delete the apps that are not useful, because that will be a mess in your domain. So we added a CSV format export, but the information was not enough. Like you can see in the before, there's a created by. But what if the person who created leave the company? You don't know who to contact in that case.
Yeah.
So from the August, we also put updated by and updated date time. So by comparing those informations, you know if it's still used and who to contact. So the updated person is the most recent person that have the permission to the app.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. So now we have more information about the app on the app list, so it becomes easier to sort out which apps we need and which apps we don't need.
Yeah, and you can contact using that information.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next. Oh, it's about API. I have no idea what it is about. So can you explain it to me?
Yeah, sure. API is mostly for the developers. And API is kind of a rule to communicate against the different services. And the REST API is one of that rule. And by using that rule, you can get the data from other places, or you can put the data inside yourself, or update or delete. So you can do those things by using the REST API. And Kintone has that REST API. That's why we have a multiple plugins available, or sometimes connection with other SaaS services. And so the developers use this REST API to communicate with other systems. And REST API is just a rule, so they can use that in different program languages for like Java, JavaScript, C#, or any other. And what we made here is a new tool for them. Like if they want to use Java and want to use the REST API inside that, of course they have to follow the Java rule and write it from the beginning. But if you have a tool that can shorten your code and make it easier, that would be really great, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we have, the new tool for them. So we have the Kintone Java client and also Kintone JavaScript client, which is two major programs that is used in Kintone for the programming. So there's a developer network site, and you can, of course, and it is also in the GitHub. So you can go see it, and if you want to use it, it's all free, and hope that will help the developers to use it.
Okay, so this is the useful information for developers.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So let's move on to the next. Oh, it's the end of this month's update. So here is a part of future updates, and it will enable us to download space list in CSV format. Teso-san, do you have any comment on this?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I want to say that this is not the only update in September. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have others, but this is the one of the features that we can provide, hopefully in September. Then it's quite the same as the one I described earlier about the app management. So not only the app, also the space. We can make many space in the domain, and sometimes get really frustrated about managing them. So we also are going to add the CSV format export and also a space list for the manager to make it easy to manage.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the next update. So this is the end of today's channel. How was it, Teso-san?
Well, it was very happy for me to introduce many updates, and not only in Japanese. I already do those updates information in Japanese, but I was also happy to provide this into English. So hope that this information helps the developers, user, manager, and sometimes partner or any other people who are invited to the Kintone.
Thank you for explaining in detail. And I was very lucky to be able to learn about Kintone from you. So to our partners, if you have any question, please contact us on Kintone. And to our customers, if you have an interest in Kintone, please contact our partners in your country. So thank you for watching this channel, and see you next month. Bye!
Bye!